Right, well Amber, at the moment you seem to be stuck resolutely in the 40s with the papers that you've sat so far. So let's see if you've managed to lift yourself into maybe the 50s this week. That's a good start. So 6 there. That's good. 55 squares is a bit low. Okay, so that one there should be included as well, as should that one there, and that one there, and that one there, and probably that one there, and that one there as well. You're looking to include any square that is more than half filled, and you're missing out quite a few of them. So your method is not really good because you're not doing that. And then you don't need to square it. Okay, these are centimetre squares, so you just have to say how many centimetre squares you've got. So that is something that you should be able to get your head around and always get full marks on. Okay, with this one, line of symmetry means if you fold it along that line, what's on one side of the fold is exactly the same as on the other. Or if you put a mirror along it, the reflection looks identical. Now that line is fine and correct, but this line isn't. That side of the shape is different to this side of the shape because of those straight lines. And you've got 2 lines there, but in fact these are also lines of symmetry. So you've missed one there, you've missed one there, and you've missed this one here. So again, that is a fairly low level thing that you should be able to get right. 4 out of 8 is correct. Does not stop on yellow is 1 over 8. No, stops on yellow is 1 over 8. 7 over 8 would be that. And the probability that it stops on red, there aren't any red, so the probability would be 0. So you're only going to get the 1 mark for that. The event B for you is correct. It is unlikely because of your wrong probability there. So 2 marks for that. Cylinder and cuboid are correct. That's wrong. The diameter goes across the center. So that's a diameter. What this is a tangent. Now, that is the right thing, but in fact, you're probably too far out. Now what you want to do to draw a perpendicular line is use one of these long lines on a clear ruler and line that up with your the line that's drawn for you, and then the edge of the ruler will always be at right angles to it. So that's what you're looking for. You just check the marks here to see whether they allow what you've done there. They do allow a tolerance, so you may get that mark. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but that's what you need to do. You need to make sure that it's clearly at right angles to the line drawn. £3.16 is correct, and so is £9.20. 5 for that page. 27.46. Now then, 27.46 is correct. £1.28 is correct, but you have to multiply that by 5 because it's £1.28 for each 100 grams. So you have to multiply that by 5, and then do your subtraction. So you're gonna get then you're adding those together and taking them away. So that's what you've missed out. Other than that, you would have got it right. Unlucky. Okay, so questions like this now, we will be practicing sooner rather than later. What you're looking for is to see a relationship between the white blocks and that number, and the black blocks or the grey blocks and that number. So you can see that whatever the pattern number is, it's the same number of white squares. So pattern number 100 would have 100 white squares, and then the grey squares are always one more. So pattern number 100 would have 100 white squares, so it would have 101 grey squares. In pattern 60, so pattern 60 would have 60 white squares and 61 grey squares, so 121 in total. And 81 squares altogether. If you took the one off that's on top of every other one, then you'd have 80, and then you divide it by 2 to get the pattern number, so it would be 40. So only 2 marks on that page. Adding 12, timesing by 3, but minus every other number. So what you're doing is timesing by minus 3. And again, I don't think what you've written there will earn you oh yes, it will. Yeah, so you get that mark. 102, it's not 102F, it's just 102. We've practiced these this week. So M, if one magazine costs M pence, 2 would cost 2M, 3 would cost 3M, 8 would cost 8M. And then to turn pence into pounds, you divide by 100. So that's what they're looking for you to do there. That's good. This is something that we've done in the last lesson. You can't write it like that. You have to do 72 take away 45 and work it out. And here you haven't ordered the list. So list must be ordered before you go looking for the middle. So you've got to put them in order of size, then find the middle, and if there are a middle 2, you've got to go halfway between. You've got to find the halfway point. So again, there's marks there that hopefully you'll be able to pick up now. So what have we got? 2 there, 4, 7 for that page. It's not 112, it's 114. You're going up from 0 to 20 in 10 jumps. So that means each little square is worth 2. So you're going 102, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Now that would be full size on the exam. I've obviously shrunk it down, which makes that a little bit harder there, but it's actually 114. In the first hour, this is the first hour, 10 till 11. So the distance it's travelled is from 50 up to 114, which is 64. Okay, so the distance it's travelled is 64. Then you're working with this axis, and you can see here that 10 squares takes you to 30 minutes, half an hour. So if 10 squares is 30 minutes, 1 square would be 3. So the length of time it's taking to travel that far, or to rest for, is 30, 33, 36, 39, 42. So it's 42 minutes. And then all you have to do here is to work out where 1339 is. Well, that's 1330. 1333, 1336, 1339 will be there, and then using a ruler, join those points up. So hopefully again that is something that you can get your head around. If you were to get 95 out of 250 in an exam, I'd probably write that on the front as 95 out of 250. To turn that into a percentage then, you times it by 100. On your calculator, you've got a fraction button which does that job for you. There it is. So 95 on top, 250 on the bottom, times 100, 38%. Take a look how I work through that, and that we'll be practicing these this week. Okay, so it looks as if you haven't given yourself enough time to finish this paper, although some of those questions are quite hard. So it's important, really important, that you go back and give yourself that time, or even if you just watch me work through them. So probably you've left out so much there, you're going to struggle to get out of the 40s again. 10, 12, 17, 19, 26, 27, actually struggle to get into the 40s. 27. Okay, 27 is an F. Okay, so that's really disappointing, Amber. And you are in fact 11 marks away from an E, so you're a long way off 61 that you would want to get a C on that paper.